Hi, I want to show you two of the many great jazz education resource books that are out there on the market today. Two great books by Mark Lev, a great jazz piano player, composer, great teacher. These two books, Jazz Theory book, the Jazz Piano book. These are unbelievable. This Jazz Theory book, when it came out, I couldn't believe it. This thing is loaded with so much information. This is like if you fly in a plane and you have a window seat, just hang with me for a minute, and you look out the window, let's say you're landing in Chicago or something, you see the lake, you see the tower, you see O'Hare, you see downtown, you look at Grant Park, you can see everything. Well, that's what this is. This is an aerial view shot of jazz. And he talks about so many different things. We'll get into it in a minute. And another thing about it is it's through Share Music. And Share Music, one of the things you need to know about them, their layout, the way they make the music look is always beautiful. It's not just good, it's not just clear, it's really like beautiful. I use some of their books to teach my composition students how to do layout when they have to lay out a chart, even if you do it on computer. They take a lot of care, stuff looks great. So this Jazz Theory book, I'm going to go through, I'm just going to read the table of contents for a minute, just to show you, and keep this in mind, this isn't a glossing over because there's so many topics. Mark really gets into each one of these topics. It's just it's all in one place. This is like the Home Depot of jazz right here. You know, you can get all you can get all kinds of information. Theory, basic theory, major scale 2-5-1 progression. Chord scale theory, each type of scale has its own theory. Major scale theory, melodic minor scale theory, diminished scale, whole tone scale, how to practice scales, and slash chords. Slash chords, beginning players, they don't know what to do with slash chords. That slash chords just freak them out. They just keep looking at the chord expecting something to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Part 2, improvisation, playing the changes from scales to music. This is big. Because in teaching jazz, you can understand this scale fits this chord, this scale fits that chord. But what happens when students start to improvise, they'll just say, I'm in this chord now. Now I'm in this chord. Now I'm in this chord. And there's a way to teach them how to play left to right, how to connect the material so you can be linear, so you can flow, and not just play each chord. And when you're finished, you just have a lot of little chunks of different chords. Right? So Mark gets into that. Great. That's a great spot in this book that I have earmarked in my office. I always open it up and show the students. And once they see it, they get it. They know how to get themselves or begin to negotiate a more linear concept through chords. Pentatonic scales, playing outside, bebop scales, the blues, rhythm changes, tips on how to practice, reharmonization, basic reharmonization, advanced reharmonization. I have to go back and look at that one. Coltrane changes, and then he gives you some arrangements that he wrote up where you could hear it. Tunes, song forms, how to read a lead sheet, how to memorize a tune, how to deal with heads. He gets into some Montuna type style piano playing, how to get that pattern and put it to different chords. This is great. This book is, I can't say enough about it. He really, when it came out, I couldn't believe that somebody actually wrote something so. This is great. This book is great. And then he comes up with the Jazz Piano book. I think this was first, or maybe I got this book before the theory book. But this is great. This is looking at jazz and theory and styles from a piano player's point of view. But what's great about this, even if you're not a piano player, I don't play piano, but I fool around with piano. I own one. It's over there. It looks like it's out of tune. But this helps. And because I arrange, and I like to write and compose, the piano information here applies directly to arranging. So all this stuff works for horns, if you understand. It's a little bit of orchestration. But here is a little bit of what he talks about. Intervals and triads, 2-5-1, 3-note voicings, sus Phrygian chords, adding notes to 3-note voicings, tritone substitutions, left-handed voicings, altering the notes in left-handed voicings. He goes through scale theory because it's all the same. Any theory book's going to give you scale theory. Have to have it. Putting scales to work, practicing scales, so what chords, It's a specific type of voicing. Fourth chords, upper structures, which means the upper part of the chords, 9, 11, 13th. What do you do with those in the voicing? Pentatonic scales, more on voicings, stride and bud pal voicings. So there's, well, I'll get back to that. 4-note scales, block chords, some Montuna Latin jazz ideas, comping, just great. So between these two, there's so much material. You don't have to play piano to get what this book offers. This book is great. This book here, even though it's for piano, if you're a piano player, get it. If you're a writer, you're an arranger, get this, because it's this. You're going to use this information. I was going to say it's the same, but you're going to use that same information when you write. Both are laid out beautifully. Huge works. But Mark Levine, the jazz piano book and the jazz theory book, just fantastic. Just both books are a course unto themselves. You won't regret this one.